Good day, Raider Nation. It's your boy DA, Dell Anthony. Without you, there's no me. Welcome back. It's been a long time, but I'm here. Let's get into it. Las Vegas Raiders. Shout outs to Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees. Shout outs to my man Eminem, Michael Myers. Once again, back with another take about our Raider Nation. Shout outs to the number one Raider fan, my man Big T, Terry. Had a great time at his cookout for his birthday. Let's get into it. Davante Adams. Good riddance. But in all jokes to Davante, he's a true professional. Yes, he turned into like a spoiled brat that when he didn't have his best friend, he didn't want to play with us no more. But I think he was all in. I just think that our regime has become a joke of a franchise. And as a Raider fan, we deserve a lot more. We deserve better. So the trade was a third-round pick for a conventional third that could turn into a second. Honestly, we need to burn it down and start all over. Whether that's with Antonio Pierce or not, I don't know. I know the sale has supposed to have gotten through where Tom Brady owns 10%. I hope that winning attitude to be the best comes with him if he is approved of the sale, because we are a joke of a franchise. We'll have the best fan base of all sports, and we deserve better. Now, the game against Pittsburgh, it seemed like we was a road game because there's a lot of Steelers there, because that's not our original black hole. So that's still in transition. But we've been a joke of a franchise. I told you guys before on one of my last Raider takes about a few months ago, or whatever, I think it was like 6-7 months ago, pretty sure, that Mike, what's his name? Mark Davis. I said Mike. I don't even know this guy's name. He's such a clown. But Mark Davis is a joke. He was a jester to entertain the players, as I told you before, when his father owned the team. And he is proving that because he doesn't know what he's doing when it comes to the historic franchise that we are. I don't know what's going on. There's sometimes things are bad and it's just bad. Davante Adams leaving or being traded or requesting a trade, I see that with Moss. I see that with a lot of other people. Our last good regime is the 2002 era, even though even that, we got besides ourselves and traded Gruden to the team we played in the Super Bowl. But let's get into my reaction about it. We need to burn it down and build it back up. The fact that you traded Davante Adams means I'm glad I didn't do what I was going to do. I was going to go out to Vegas, watch a home game and all that other stuff. I'm glad I didn't, because I would be pissed because there's nothing to watch. We are 2-3. We can easily be 4-2. To lose to the Panthers, to lose to the Steelers. I mean, the Steelers is okay, but come on. Justin Fields averages 100 yards throwing. Davante Adams is gone. We don't have a single receiver worth their grain of salt. I don't know if we want to bring Michael Thomas in. I don't know what we want to do. But I knew the season was a wrap. Me and my buddy Joe, shout out to my man Joe, who's another Raider fan. My man Mike, we both knew it was a joke when we signed Gardner Minshew and still was rocking with Aiden O'Connor. We knew that it was downhill. Well, I definitely knew it was downhill when we elected to let Cliff Kingsbury walk out the door. You see what he's doing in Washington now? We have Antonio Pierce, defensive guy. Tom Coughlin, defensive guy. Patrick Graham, defensive guy. Marvin Lewis, defensive guy. An offensive guy walks into the door to kind of get us where we can get excited about how the offense is going to look. With Bowers and Adams and Myers and Tucker and I think it's Hayden, DJ Hayden, where we can have some speed and run around and do some things. And we let him go out the door because we didn't want to give him full control of the offense. You guys know nothing about offense. And then if you're going to say, because we want to be about defense and be about toughness, why the only defensive guy you brought in worth any significant was Wilkins? Why the running backs we got, I think we had them last year, was Madison and Abdullah? Why not bring in a Henry or somebody else to say, okay, we're going to let Aiden O'Connor and Minshew hand it off, pound the rock, and then do play-action pass play? We hardly did anything. I am saying this, my Raider Nation. I know you're going to probably say, cancel them, guys. But we should do a good service to Max Crosby and trade him for 2 number ones. I don't think the offer should be anything less than 2 number ones. And I think, honestly, it should be 2 number ones and maybe a 4. Or 2 number ones and a 3. But if you care about Max Crosby and you really want to give him good service or just do service for being a heck of a player for the Las Vegas Raiders, trade him to a team that can get him his championship or know what it is to play in the playoffs. There's no more loyalty for players. So now we need to be loyal to us fans. Trade him to get 2 number ones and a 2 or 2 number ones and a 3 or 2 number ones and a 4. I would never trade him unless I could get 2 number ones. Let him go play with a team that has a chance to win a championship. And if he really values us, if we explain that to him, he could come back to us and is to retire a Raider or when we get good again. But we got to burn it all down, guys. We got to burn it all down. When I knew we was in trouble, we didn't even go after Jim Harbaugh. We want Antonio Pierce. Yes, Pierce. Yes, Pierce. You know what that's like? You ever been in the school? I'm dating myself, but you ever been back in the day in school? You had that hard teacher, because right now teachers just pass the kids through, leave no child left behind. But when I was a kid, you can get left behind. You can have a 16-year-old in your 6th grade class. We had real bullies. But anyway, that substitute teacher comes in, is different from all the homework. So when they come in, you playing Connect 4, cards. The girls in the corner playing the doll babies or doing double dutch. The guys is in the corner slap boxing. You know what I mean? You playing a dozen. You know, you got the teacher playing hangman on the board and guess what this to get candy and gifts. Because she's substituting. She's Mrs. Soprano coming in for Mrs. Casimiro or Mrs. Woods or Mrs. Seriano or Mrs. Sanders. But then those teachers' tenure, they decide to go to a different school because they're leaving your elementary school. So then that substitute teacher becomes your regular teacher. And now you got to study for the state exam. And now you have the math class. And now you have the English. You got to study for those exams and the SATs and all this other stuff. Well, elementary school, not so much SATs, but the state exams that you get the test and they tell you where you ranked amongst your peers. And then you go, Dad, what happened to the fun we had when we was playing this card game or Uno or Hangman or slap boxing in the corner or whatever? You don't have that no more. Because now they're a real teacher. Antonio Pierce is now the real teacher. He's the head of the class. And just like I said about Josh McDaniels and our former GM, he know no better. You don't be a defensive coordinator in today's NFL and let an offensive guy walk out the door. You getting me or what, man? You don't do that. You know nothing about offense. Why would you let a guy who can make it fun to be a Raider on offense, or at least take people by surprise, or do motion, or do anything, and let him walk out the door because your pride is in the way and go, oh, I'm not giving nobody full control. You didn't deserve full control. You was a feel-good story. And I'm going to lose points because as a black man, I should have been happy that another black man got a job. Not if they're not qualified. He's not qualified to be a head coach. He's a coordinator. Now, they can prove me wrong, where in a couple of years, we're fighting for a playoff berth and championships. But as a fan, we deserve better. There is no reason that we have been abysmal since 2002. I think 2015 or 16 was the last time we was ever in the playoff, and Derek Carr got his fibula broke or whatever. I think against Jacksonville or whoever, Colts or whoever, and we lost in the playoffs. So take that season out from 2002. I have a son that's a Chief fan. Another son that's a Patriot fan. Another son that's a Raven fan. People who share life with me didn't even want to be Raider fans. Everybody you know, the husband or boyfriend got enough power to make that person like the team they're with. But I can't do that because I'm a Raider fan and we suck. I love the Mitch Report or the Raider Report. I love the other guy that does this thing. Shout outs to them. I know they ain't gonna know me. I'm very small compared to them. But we got to get it going, guys. So since we got rid of Devontae Adams, that is telling us fans, we are done for the year. So guess what? Everybody's for sale that's not a 3-year player or less. Everybody's for sale. And build it all over. Just start trading for draft picks. And please let somebody come into the draft room that knows what the heck they're looking at. Because right now it doesn't cut it. We are drafting these young men, whether they're from inner cities, impoverished neighborhoods, impoverished families, and sticking them in Sin City. And you think we're gonna win for that? You can walk down the street and everywhere is a sin. That's a sin. That's a sin. That's a sin. That's a sin. And you think we're going to win? You got to bring veterans in. That's been there and done that. That love the game so much they don't want to get out of the game. That's who you have to bring in. Because if you going off the draft, you a wrap. You are a wrap. People are going to hate me for saying this. I would rather call Cam Newton than to allow Gardner Minshew to be our quarterback. Because he beat us in the last year on a fluke. Because it was a BS pass interference call. So the coach got the ball and scored the touchdown. And that's why he's our quarterback. Aiden O'Connell is not it. You need a quarterback that can also run a little bit. People are too fast nowadays. Max Crosby cannot split the quarterback by himself. Honestly, I love Mad Max, but he over pursues a lot of plays. He runs himself out of position a lot. He just has a lot of energy. That's why I want to reward him to go somewhere else. But we have to stop lying to ourselves. We are a joke of a franchise. We should be calling the Steelers and trying to get Russell Wilson with us. Like real talk. He's a grown man who's a professional. His wife can do the Vegas stuff. We got rid of the Devontae Adams contract so we can technically take on his contract and try to salvage this season. I believe a Russell Wilson can come in and let us at least upset some teams, even if we're not going to do well. His contract is nowhere near. Oh, I'm sorry, it is, because Denver was stupid enough to give him that contract. So, nix that. But we're not going to win with any young people. We are fooling ourselves to think we're going to win with young people because it's Vegas, baby. We're not in Washington, meaning the Washington, not the D.C. Chocolate City, get it on too. We're in Las Vegas. No young kid that's never had money before is coming to some Vegas and not hanging out with the ladies, hanging out with the Showtime, partying with Will Smith and them. That is not going to not happen. So we got to get it right. So let's get back to reality. We need to hire one of these offensive-minded people and do something different. Our defense is a bend and don't break defense, and we do stupid penalties. We are the most stupidest team I've ever seen in my life. 3 times we stopped the Steelers and probably could have did something and got personal foul penalties. Did Antonio Pierce get the job and forgot his standard of discipline and integrity because he doesn't care now? As a Raider fan, I am disgusted. I am disgusted. We'll take a break.